Salutations, everyone. It is time for everybody's favorite quest, the Tear of Dhakaan. And by everybody, I mean Tobrel, who happens to be in the voice chat with us today. Hello, Tobrel.
Best quest in the game.
Best quest in the
Right
game.
after a bunch of other quests, but this one's up there.
Yeah, you want to talk about the reason why you like this quest?
This quest is fantastic because it's one straight direct line of murder.
Okay. Almost none of those words are true. But in Tobrel's mind, it's why he loves this quest, and we're not gonna take that away from him. So Tear of Dhakaan is a level 9 quest. In my book, it's actually level 7, but I like to do the quest on Reaper mode, 2 levels above the quest level. It's just like my general rule of thumb. So even though it says it's level 7, I try to knock him out at level at 9. It's filled mostly with hobgoblins, right? I think.
Knob goblins.
I usually call them knob goblins because I don't like them very much, but I don't know how appropriate that is for one of these training videos, road to most traveled, least traveled tutorials, but they are a little bit of a pain. A little bit. I am going to show you how to achieve 100% victory in this quest. We will go through and do all the optionals. However, if you're like Tobrel, and for you this quest is one streamlined murder pack, we will mention and talk about the areas of the quest that should just be straight through.
So much murder.
Alright, so one of the things I like to do is I like to get these jellies to actually run through the trap. It will split them on death, which has a good and bad effect. I actually like having additional opportunities to get champions when they're oozes, but I dislike having extra opportunities for reapers. So 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Trap box is, I think, on this pillar. Yeah, and it looks like we're not going to be able to auto detect this trap box, so we might need to trust our search skill. All right, this rune I believe is a intelligent wisdom or intelligence seal. I don't believe it's super high. I think it's, I want to say it's like 19. It seems to be the right number in my mind. It might be as high as 20. So keep that in mind. But generally, a lot of these strength things are in that just under 20, just over 20. 21 is usually like the highest range. Alright, so we went in there, we opened that lever. That lever, what? Did I not pull the lever? Did I just run in that room and loot the chest and not pull the lever? I bet I did. I started talking and didn't even get it. Didn't even do it. Anyway, so we're going to pull this lever back here that I clearly pulled earlier and didn't have to double back to do. And that'll open that little gate that hides some war mages and adepts and other horrible monstrosities, and we can get these shards. Now, each one of these shards are around 500 experience points to pick up. There are 6 of them. I love picking up the shards from Tear of Dhakaan for no other reason than it makes me giggle? I don't know. I love it. I also like turning all of them in for my 10 plat a piece. A lot of people will like... I know it's not time efficient. I just like doing it. It brings me 11 platinum pieces worth of pleasure. How about that? So I like to turn them in. It's not time efficient or good, but I like to do it. Alright, I'm going to stick my hireling right here in this soon to be open doorway. I want it to generate some kills for me. As you can see, when this gate closed, that door opened. So he'll get to work there. And then right here is a trap box for all these fire. And we'll go open this lever so we can get back out of this sealed in area. Oh, he died. The first trap box is right here. I spaced it out because I was busy talking about how I wanted him to get some work done. And he died on me. This is a good thing we can raise dead, huh? Now, you're supposed to make my life easier, Samuel, not harder. Alright. This is a good time. I apparently been running around with my severed finger gloves on this whole time. Anyway, this is a good time to talk about gear swapping and UMD. UMD is a pretty useful skill to have. It's like to activate this scroll of Raised Dead, I need a 34. And it's telling me that I have 10% chance to miss, which means theoretically on a 1 and a 2. I personally find that this does not calculate correctly. So if I go over here and look at my skill, I have a 29. To get to a get to 34 from 29, I'd have to roll a 5. So I found that that calculation on percentage is incorrect for me. It does not happen with every character. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with Artificer past lives not being calculated in there correctly. But a little bit of trial and error, which means I carry around things like my 7-finger gloves. I carry around these memories of charity, which is both a charisma item and a good luck item. And then I had an opportunity to grab a cartouche. Is it a cartouche of luck? I don't remember what it is. Some sort of cartouche, which gives you +3 to your UMD skill. So if you, depending on what kind of items you have at your disposal, and again, if it's important to you to get your UMD up, you can go farm up this memory of charity and I think it's a golden cartouche is what I'm thinking of. Farm those two things up and you'll get what, 5, 6, 7 to your UMD skill with item swaps. And yeah, the memory of charity is a little bit more difficult to farm up compared to some other things, just because it's a little bit of a stingy quest. But between rerolls and stuff like that, it's not impossible.
Just steps ahead of you, an open shot.
Golden Cartouche, on the other hand, is a pretty easy farm. You can farm that quest on casual once you've done it the first time. If you just are interested in the end reward list, the end reward list does not populate based off of how difficult you did the previous quest chain. So yeah, there you go. If you do not know the Delirious quest chain or the I can't think of the name of that quest. The quest that drops the hat. I feel like I need to look it up now. Is it Memory Lapse? It's probably Memory Lapse. Yeah, Memory Lapse. I've recorded videos for both Memory Lapse and Delirious, and I will try to get them posted later today over on the YouTube channel. I was going to work on them late last night, but I was so tired I didn't. again, fighting off this last little bit of this cold and whatever else has been going on the last couple of days. Still tuckering me out and kicking my butt a little bit. Alright, so there's 3 levers to kind of move on. One under the water, one right here behind the post, and then one as we start to jump down the way here. Something important to keep in mind.
It appears that you've reached a dead end.
Not quite right this second, but here in just a moment is behind this secret door as you continue the quest to get this this shard. There's actually like 6 wolves right here.
You hear the unmistakable snoring from the sun.
Or I guess in this case they're mutts. But basically they're bad men that do bad tripping things. You gotta be really careful when you're getting tripped, so you need to kind of pre-plan how you're going to deal with it, especially if one does turn out to be a champion like a Hero's Soul or something really bad. This fight has actually killed me more than once in the past. Just because getting tripped to death is a real thing. Alright. Let's get back over here to this page. Sounds really unfortunate, Dotgar. Hope a speedy recovery to you. Never actually broken a rib. I have definitely bruised ribs in the past, and I may have cracked a rib or two over the years, but I don't think I've ever broken a rib. Although it's possible that I've lived with all sorts of breaks and stuff over my years, then I didn't even realize how bad they were. Alright. So this is the wisdom section. The reason why I think of it that way is because behind this lever pops a pseudo secret door, and this is a wisdom rune. In the event that you, again, don't have the wisdom for it, you can check out like a hireling. You can boost your wisdom with an item, one of these store pots. I'm actually a big fan of these store pots. I also like using my fragments. The mysterious remnants, I guess is what they're technically called. I always think of them as fragments. But I like using them to purchase basically the equivalent of the store potions out of the remnant dealer. Once you have the majority of your tomes purchased or all of your tomes purchased, there's not really a great sink for those remnants. So I feel like turning them into potions is a fine way to use them sporadically, so you don't have to use your precious DDO points on store pots. I do find though that you get these store pots relatively frequently in the gold rolls though as well. Bad touch. Alright. So again, this is another situation where being ranged is going to be heavily to our advantage. Where being melee is going to be a little more problematic. We're just going to be able to stand back here and shoot all these various troublemakers down. Where if we were ranged, we'd have to do some charging. Just trying to stay moving. I don't want that Soul of Cruelty to tag me with another poison dot. We'll have Samuel give us a heal on the way back. Kiss my boo-boo one more time. That was not enough. Alright. Right here, again, we're going to be... I should actually have taken this out. I didn't think about it. Again, we're going to basically just... web and shoot. Be pretty quick and painless. Congratulations to... Twisted Fate for reaching guild level 170. What's the old defense guild at the moment? 178. Oh, people are catching up to us, bro. We gotta fix that. Break some ankles.
Get there. All we gotta do is get to 190.
Oh yeah, just get to 190. Okay, seems easy enough. This valve will open this secret door. This used to be a locked door, I believe, like 100 million years ago. All of these valves were just locked doors before. It did add a little something special to the quest that all the shrines were behind locked doors. But I do think it had a tendency to make the quest a little bit difficult for certain party compositions. Like the all Sork party. Or if your trapper died and you don't have the mana to like raise him, and you didn't do the trap or the door beforehand, like then what do? Things were not always as flush as they are today, where you can afford to walk around with 999 or 900 or whatever res and heal scrolls and stuff like that. Told this story a couple of videos ago about how I pulled my first int tome and sold it on the auction house for 1,000,000 gold, and I remember thinking at the time that I was flushed. I would never be out of gold again. I remember telling Tobrel that I did that.
6 seconds later.
Yeah. I remember telling Tobrel that I did that. I remember him being super jealous that, again, this was like way back in the way back machine. That I had finally surpassed 1,000,000 gold. This is before TR, and this is back on the OG Samius. So now I just crush a +1 stat tome. There's one more range guy shooting me. Here he is. Again, we're going to cast these buffs. We're going to throw a web. I'm going to stand so the tripper has to be in the web. I'm like, nah, doggo. Got 4 legs. That's twice as likely to get stuck in a web as me. Yeah, so I was thinking about, again, I hate to timestamp these little videos, but Tobrella and I were having a conversation about the past life on the Alchemist being transmutation, and I remember like, it doesn't seem that bad. It's not great. It's not that bad. What would be great and be in the similar vein would be if it was Conjuration. Conjuration would be great.
Which is the cleric?
Yeah, but a second one would be... I feel like it would be quite valuable. Taking your low-level web spells up another notch would be significant. Again, I don't know if it would be overpowered, but it would definitely be more useful than a handful of inflict spells and flesh the stone and disintegrate.
Any intertwining footprints suggest that the Hobgoblin village is nearby.
Unless they're planning on adding a bunch of yeah, it is. The stone to flesh, flesh to stones are transmutation. Beard's Reaper, I'm gonna try to stay far enough back that it won't be incentivized to scream at us. That seems like bad news right there. Let's get him out of the way. Champion Elemental Caster. Alright, so this area's got a couple little traps in it. Spoiler alert, I don't think the traps actually do anything. It used to at least blow up these barrels, but I don't think it does that anymore. I think it's a dead. I think this trap has been broken for a while. But still, trap box, trap bonus, value town. Come here, you. Alright, pick up my lost soul. I guess I better go back here and get this bag as well. So we're pretty much all about those. Oops. Pick up a couple of these.
The tunnel opens into an expansive.
All right, so this we should have a discussion right here about this part of the quest. Monsters will start to respawn now along this hallway a little bit in front of this city. Monsters respawn in this city. This is probably the most difficult part of the quest for a couple of reasons. Also, I should not be attacking clay golems with my poison or my acid engaged, but to each their own, I guess. So you need to keep in mind that these respawns happen. So if your party is split, like you're way ahead, it's real easy for people to walk into trash. If you get hurt real bad and you have to retreat backwards, you may be retreating into more monsters. You can call it a tactical repositioning. How's that?
Okay.
But I've had to retreat before. Again, this room in particular can be a quite challenging part of the quest. Because you have to get a lever pulled to move on. Things don't really move into this area once you, or past this area once you've cleared your way past it. But they definitely can become a problem and be overwhelming if you're with the respawns. If you're not just right on the ball. Should be there it is. So there should be an invisible dog somewhere. It just wants to trip us for days. But see, like even one guy could delay long enough for us not to be able to get through, and then a whole wave of respawns could occur. Alright, so what I'd recommend is if you have any aggro from things that could chase you, you wait a second and clear that aggro. Shouldn't take very long. Should just be like one or two guys. And then you also got to be careful that you don't spawn or activate this fight at the same time, because then you can get pincered. Alright, I think we're good now. Should be the last of the trash that's interested in chasing us. And we cleaned out this area as well. If they do come, they will chase you to the end of the quest. But hopefully he'll be able to defend himself back here. Oh, do not want your solar cruelty nonsense. Alright. I cast a web spell here. As I approach, this is going to spawn bad guys, including where I put that web spell at. Which is why we did it. Soul? It was a soul. Let's pick up that soul. So here's where people who want to mess with you, say you've been collecting all the shards. This is where somebody will inevitably want to mess with you, so you can't get all of the shards. It is just a straight race up there. Try to be the bigger person and let it go, but also know that they're terrible human beings and there's nothing you can do about it. They don't let you get the completed Tear of Dhakaan. Doesn't do anything special. It's just warm and cuddly feeling inside. So those 6 shards each got you 500 experience points, and then doing all of them got you another 2,600. So I'd have to like math, but I believe that's a little more than 5,000 experience points. Again, not necessarily enough of a reason to do them all on your own, but if you're part of a team, definitely worth having somebody hang back and clean up those, clean those up or split up and work on them. Here is another shrine door, which I'm going to have my helper go use. And we're going to carry on. Hey, cook that lost soul like a whole bunch. Give it to me. It's mine. I earned it. I earned it by clicking on it. There we go. There's our heal. Alright, this is another part of the quest where things tend to get a little wonky. You got a couple of invisible dogs, or stealth dogs. You've got 2 casters who like to do things like break your web. And you have another, like a tripping guy. None of that's like that crazy out of the ordinary. However, when you spawn this last room by opening this door, you're going to have guys jump in behind you. Look at that. For that, I recommend you go ahead and climb up here for a minute. These guys can really hurt. They are much unpleasantness. If you have a good plan, it's not such a big deal. But a couple of them turn into champs, and you can be in real trouble. I'll even sometimes use the hireling to open the door so I can stay far away and essentially let the hireling be my remote for opening the door, so I don't have to put myself in nearly as much danger. Go. So we got our conquest bonus, perception bonus, or some anyway, and then our ingenious. We could have probably gotten the breakables bonus, but you guys have already figured out a long time ago by now that I dislike that so much. Alright, well that was Tear of Dhakaan, Tobrel's favorite quest. He was awfully quiet. Didn't have lots of tips or tricks for this one. In Tobrel's world, don't do the optional cleaning of the tears. Just run straight through. You'll shave about half of the quest time off. So for half the quest time, you'll get, say, around 17,000 experience. Since we did all the did the optionals, we ended up with some extra kills. We ended up with some extra disabling of traps that gave us those extra bonuses. That gave us around an extra 5,000. And then, of course, like I said, we figured out roughly 5,000 for actually collecting the tiers. So by doing that, it's only like another 10,000 experience, but it did probably add more than double to the quest. So if you're looking for XP per minute, it's not the best way to go. But if you're looking for just sheer fun, by turning in these awesome Tears, then it's definitely the quest for you, and definitely the
Are
way
you
to
gonna
do
show
it.
I'm getting your 5 gold?
I did. I literally did. Alright, everybody, that was Tear of Dhakaan. Thanks for hanging out. Again, please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to watch us live, go over to twitch.tv/SamusGarobo. That is where we're recording all these live at as part of our daily DDO streams. So, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Toodles.